Moving on. One of my favorite companies in the world. Capcom.
Never buying another fucking Street Fighter day in my life.
So I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys, but there's a new Street Fighter 4 in the works. What is it called? Ultimate Street Fighter 4? I think it's called Ultimate Street Fighter 4, right? And Ono says because they don't have a budget for Street Fighter 5.
How the fuck do you not? Like, I'm sorry, what does Capcom make?
I mean, they got one other game coming out.
Son.
For the next gen.
Fuck
they
this
put out
company.
Asura's Wrath. They shit on Mega Man, so we can't talk about Mega Man.
Son, there's only one game
Resident
Capcom
Evil
makes.
is Capcom. They only make Resident Evil. They only make Resident Evil and Street Fighter. That's it.
How do you not have a budget for your game? Can you imagine any other company saying that?
That's like Nintendo saying they don't have a budget for Mario. Like, this is crazy.
I'm sorry, so what about Street Fighter so fucking intense that you need a budget for?
So time out, though. Let's get to the real problem. You release Street Fighter 4. Within the same year, you release Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4. $40 extra, 60-40. We had $100. Then, within a few months of Super Street Fighter 4, you announced Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. So within 2 years, you release 3 Street Fighter 4 games.
You don't have a budget.
That's $140 right there, maximum. You only got me once.
And they all sell.
Right? And they all sell. And you're at the tournaments. So these games are being sold. And you sold DLC for each. And now you're releasing
$5 a character.
Now you're releasing a new Street Fighter, which can be a $15 upgrade or a $40 disc, right? So that's $180. Potentially for the hardcore junkie fan, you sold this game 4 goddamn times. 4 times. Minimum twice. Because somebody might have bought the first one and the last one, or the first one, or the third one, or the first one and the second one.
Are we missing something? Maybe there's just not that many Street Fighter fans anymore. Is that what we could be missing?
Impossible.
That's what I'm thinking. So
impossible.
Fuck Capcom. Next subject.
You know what I think? They lost money on Street Fighter Cross Tekken shit. And I think because of that, the Tekken Cross Street Fighter shit's gonna suffer too.
Not my problem. Fuck yourself. Never buying another one.
So, yeah. And the last one to close this out. SimCity. Remember that game? They just reached 2 million.
But you fucks fought to get Xbox One DRM removed.
As a direct result for this game just making 2 million. Just making 2 million now. Mind you, Last of Us did 3.4 million in 3 weeks.
Bring it home for me. Bring it home for me.
SimCity, The Sims 4 is now going to be offline because of the lash that SimCity took.
But you know what my point is?
Can you go? Because I don't want to bring that home. I need you to go. This needs to be one continuous message. You bring us home.
This game would have sold 2 copies if it wasn't DRM to fuck. It would have sold 2 copies. EA would have said, "Whoop, tried that, didn't work. Sorry."
Right.
And that was that.
Right.
But they said no. DRM it. You can only play it online. I don't give a shit what you say. 2 million copies of that. You know what happens from here? We get a bigger, better SimCity. Like we supposed to have. Because the fucking developers are protected. Because if you want to play a game, then buy the game. That's it. That's it. And GameStop had nothing to do with that.
Yep.
That's $2 million that did not involve GameStop. Because that's 2 million copies of people who bought a game to play it, not to sell it back.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, here's the damage that the DRM did cause. A game like SimCity, at this point in the game, is supposed to sell 5 million by now.
It really is. That game got clout.
That's supposed to sell 5 million. At this day, at this month, it's supposed to sell 5 million by now. So because of all the drama that was put behind this,
People just
it got hit by the sales.
Yeah,
but
people
I
like,
think they only, I think they only needed to sell 2 million to make it a successful product. It just was projected higher, but they know the bottom number. Now, what's fucked up about this is Diablo, which is still selling, which is now coming in P3 and P4, had a way worse problem than SimCity.
Yeah.
And yet that shit's still selling. So
You think the next one's offline?
the next SimCity? Yep, and I think we'll be seeing it fairly quickly. I
wish
think
they
we'll be
stick
seeing
to
it
their
fairly
guns.
quickly. I wish they would too.
They just got
With-
numbers to make.
The only problem with SimCity, to be honest with you, besides that you can't play it offline, I'll give you that. But you're on your computer, and very rarely is my computer offline. But these are more so for the laptop people. The only problem with it is the cities, the landscapes. That's it. That's the real problem. The game is fucking awesome. I've now gotten myself to an hour of gameplay, and I make my PC turn off at an hour, just to make sure I don't get caught in the matrix. And now that I have a graphics card and I got everything on high, ultra, man, this fucking game is amazing.
Hey,
It's fun.
what are you, a World of Warcraft prevention mode here?
Sorry, that's not happening. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You'll
son.
never see another IGR episode
Son,
again.
you won't see me on the show, period. You'll just see my footage. Like, Snow doesn't fucking talk about the games no more.
He hasn't gone outside in months.
Lost a job.
You don't know what the sun
Had
looks
the
like.
fucking Jesus beard and all that.
That's a real problem.
It is a problem. Can't have that, son.
That's why I ain't touching that shit.
Yeah. So, that's it. Questions, thoughts, comments, drop below. Thank you.
All at us, man.